about Cleveland getting a WNBA team. Now, Cleveland wasn't the only team. Another city as well was getting a WNBA team. Now, this is what Sophie Cunningham had to say. Let me pull it up right now. Roll the footage, man.
More opportunities, and so I get that aspect. But I also think that you want to listen to your players too. Like, where do they want to play? Where are they going to get excited to play and draw fans? And I do think that Miami would have been a great one. Like, everyone loves Florida. Nashville is an amazing city.
Sophie Cunningham of the Indiana Fever has expressed critical perspectives regarding the WNBA's recently announced expansion strategy. The league's ambitious growth plans have generated discussion among athletes concerning franchise placement decisions and the inclusion of player perspectives in organizational choices. Cunningham, recognized for her direct communication style and aggressive playing approach, offered frank assessments of the expansion selections. Her analysis concentrated on perceived shortcomings in market evaluation and emphasized the significance of athlete input during league planning processes.
It's always been about the people who know me. They're like, we're not surprised. Like, that's how you always have been. I didn't mean for it to blow up like that. I didn't mean for it to blow up at all, to be honest. But at the end of the day, like, I'm here to focus on basketball. I'm still so not satisfied with how I'm playing. I'm so annoyed by it, to be honest. And so I just need to dial in, focus on my shot, focus on kind of getting back to where I was before I got injured. So that's where my mind's at. This is all super cool, and I think it's fun. I think it's cool to show young boys and girls. It's cool to.
The guard questioned the reasoning behind specific franchise locations, identifying metropolitan regions she considered more suitable for new teams. Her critique highlighted alternative markets that could potentially offer superior advantages for professional basketball operations. Her observations particularly emphasized Miami's attractiveness as an expansion candidate, citing Florida's broad appeal among players and fans. Nashville received praise for its exceptional qualities as a sporting destination, while Kansas City earned recognition for possessing a prominent downtown facility currently operating below capacity.
Kansas City, amazing opportunity. There's a huge arena downtown that no one's using. And I think that the Women's Soccer League is showing that, like, people draw, you know, and so I'm not so sure what the thought process is there. But at the end of the day, you also want to make sure that you're not expanding our league too fast. I think that's also another thing, that you don't want teams to totally dominate and then have teams that aren't. And so I just think that it's kind of a hard decision-making team or situation.
Reference to women's soccer provided comparative analysis, noting certain regions that have achieved remarkable supporter loyalty and consistent attendance. This framework suggested basketball could replicate similar achievements through strategic market evaluation. The importance of athlete consultation emerged as a central theme, with arguments that player enthusiasm for specific locations could enhance supporter engagement and venue attendance. This perspective proposed that athlete excitement about particular cities might substantially influence new franchise viability.
Stand up for your teammates, to stand up for your friends, to do that type of thing. But my mind is like, I need to start scoring the ball.
So yeah, that's something, and I think that's an important thing, that, like, obviously she's being asked basically about her newfound fame, and if I'm not mistaken, she's gone from like 300, I need to just check. So on Instagram, Sophie Cunningham has gone from
Recognition of expansion complexity included acknowledgement of competitive balance requirements, concerns about avoiding situations where certain organizations achieve dominance while others experience persistent difficulties represented key considerations in league planning. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's expansion timeline, revealed during recent media availability, outlined comprehensive growth extending throughout the current decade. The schedule incorporates multiple franchise additions across consecutive seasons, generating substantial roster development possibilities.
But man, I don't know how excited people are to be going to Detroit or Cincinnati. I'm excited because it is helpful. It's way more helpful. You just get more perks, more opportunities. And so I get that aspect, but I also think that you want to listen to your players too. Like, where do they want to play? Where are they going to get excited to play and draw fans? And I do think that Miami would have been a great one. Like, everyone loves Florida. Nashville is an amazing city. Kansas City, amazing opportunity. There's a huge arena downtown that no one's using. And I think that the women's
The announcement specified particular markets and ownership entities joining the organization. Cleveland's WNBA return holds special significance considering the city's role among the original 8 franchises during league inception. Rock Entertainment Group, under Dan Gilbert's leadership, will manage Cleveland's new organization scheduled for 2028 operations. This represents broader investment approaches within Northeast Ohio's sports and entertainment sectors.
She has gone from 300,000 followers to 1 million followers. And just looking for my own personal Instagram, from one person that I followed Sophie Cunningham to 7. And let's take a look at her TikTok. So she had what, a million or like a 400,000? She's at 1.5 million TikTok followers.
Detroit follows with 2029 operations under Tom and Holly Gore's ownership, while Philadelphia completes expansion plans with 2030 launch timing. Josh Harris, David Blitzer, David Adelman, and Brian Roberts form the Philadelphia Ownership Collective. Golden State Valkyries began this expansion phase, commencing play during the current campaign. Toronto Tempo and Portland join operations in 26, establishing rapid succession of new markets entering professional competition.
Soccer league is showing that like people draw, you know, and so I'm not so sure what the thought process is there. But at the end of the day, you also want to make sure that you're not expanding our league too fast. I think that's also another thing, that you don't want teams to totally dominate and then have teams that aren't. And so I just think that it's kind of a hard decision-making situation. But man, I don't know how excited people are to be going to Detroit or Cincinnati.
So that was Sophie.
Engelbert characterized expansion beyond simple franchise additions, describing transformative investment in women's professional athletics. The initiative guarantees enhanced roster possibilities, improved visibility, and substantial economic influence across designated metropolitan regions. Expansion timing corresponds with exceptional growth in women's basketball interest and audience engagement. Recent seasons have shown remarkable supporter involvement and media coverage, establishing advantageous conditions for organizational development.
She has 1.5 million TikTok followers now, which is kind of crazy considering. So she's gained, between Instagram and TikTok, I'm not joking, she gained, was it 1.2 million and 700k? So nearly 2 million followers, albeit there's an overlap. But onto her social media, she had about 2 million followers because of that. And
Cleveland's inclusion carries distinct historical importance, as the community previously supported WNBA operations during early league years. The return acknowledges that heritage while investing in future development opportunities. Ownership groups contribute considerable financial capabilities and sports administration expertise to respective markets. Their participation indicates serious dedication to establishing successful, sustainable operations in each location.
Cunningham speaking about the whole expansion thing. Now, just like I stated, the commissioner did speak with the media yesterday about the expansion. I'm going to play some of it, man, because it's like 30-some minutes long. We ain't finna listen to this whole damn thing. We just going to listen to some of it.
These new teams, our league will grow nearly every season for the rest of this decade. The Golden State Valkyries this year, the Toronto Tempo and Portland in 2026, Cleveland in 2020.
Ohio receives its inaugural women's professional athletics team through Cleveland's franchise, marking a significant milestone for the state's sporting environment. This development addresses a notable absence in professional women's athletics representation throughout Ohio. The expansion schedule enables methodical growth while preserving league stability and competitive equilibrium. Distributing additions across multiple years provides infrastructure development time and market preparation opportunities in each new community. Corporate alliances and municipal backing play essential roles in successful franchise establishments. Each selected market demonstrated strong support from local government and business sectors during application procedures.
to that point, I was close to her in total social media followers. Man, like if you count YouTube subscribers, Twitter followers and everything, like, and Twitch followers, I was close to her before this. I was close to her, and now she's one of the more popular players in the league. Heck, she was like 15th in All-Star voting or something. But I think now she's to focus on her game, forget what happened. Yeah, one of the most famous players in the league. she's strategic. But like, this is the perfect way to answer that question, because at the end of the day,
The announcement event featured former league legends, emphasizing connections between organizational history and ambitious future objectives. Their attendance highlighted continuity amid substantial institutional growth. Television and streaming possibilities continue expanding alongside franchise development, establishing additional revenue sources and supporter engagement platforms. Enhanced media attention supports both existing and incoming markets. Athlete development and recruitment benefit from expanded roster opportunities across additional teams. More professional positions create advancement pathways for college graduates and international players pursuing league careers.
28, Detroit in 2029, and Philadelphia in 2030. So this expansion marks far more than an increase in teams. It's a transformational investment in the future of women's sports. With more teams, more roster spots, and more scale and visibility, the WNBA is building on a wave of momentum that is only growing stronger. So this will also drive economic impact in these cities and their broader.
Organizational momentum reflects broader patterns in women's professional athletics, where increased investment and supporter interest establish favorable expansion circumstances. Basketball leads this movement with quantifiable success indicators. Training facilities, administrative operations, and community engagement programs require establishment in each new market. The multi-year schedule allows sufficient preparation for these fundamental organizational components.
hey, look, I always say this with players, it's about keeping the main thing the main thing. It's about keeping the main thing the main thing. And it's like, you don't want to see players kind of drop because of other things. Like, if you guys are seeing how Flaujae's been playing right now in America Cup, and she's been terrible. Like, there's no two ways about it, unless she stepped up today against Puerto Rico.
Season coordination becomes increasingly challenging with additional franchises, requiring careful planning to maintain competitive balance and travel efficiency. League operations must evolve to accommodate the expanded structure. Supporter-based development in new markets depends on effective promotion, community involvement, and competitive team performance. Successful launches require creating immediate connections with local supporters. The expansion represents the most aggressive growth period in league history, fundamentally transforming organizational structure and competitive environment. This evolution positions women's professional basketball for sustained long-term achievement.
Regions. And none of this happens without incredibly strong partnership. So I want to extend an enormous amount of gratitude to our new majority owners and ownership groups, Dan Gilbert and the Rock Entertainment Group in Cleveland, Tom and Holly Gores and the rest of the ownership group in Detroit, and Josh Harris, David Blitzer, David Edelman, and Brian Roberts in Philadelphia. And it's great to see Deanna, Rusha, and Janice here today. Thank you so much.
Sophie Cunningham recently responded to inquiries about her unexpected prominent surge and its potential influence on athletic performance. During recent media availability, the player discussed her surprising popularity increase while maintaining concentration on primary responsibilities as a competitor. The conversation addressed Cunningham's viral moment and subsequent promotional activities, which likely demanded minimal time commitment but created significant attention. This situation reflects common challenges in professional athletics where competitors face examination for non-basketball pursuits, particularly when court performance fails to meet expectation. Recent podcast controversies provide examples where supporters criticize players' media involvement while their games decline.
Which was a closer game. I didn't watch that game, and oh my god, like, were they down at halftime? It was a ball game at halftime, and Flaujae is now, other than Audie Crooks, second last off the bench. She's meant to be like Wendy's top picks. She's one of the last players off the bench for this Team USA team. Hannah Stolke's playing over. Stolke's playing over right now.
Cunningham's response displayed exceptional maturity and self-reflection. She recognized that those familiar with her character weren't surprised by her actions, stressing that her conduct remained consistent with her personality. The athlete acknowledged never anticipating the massive attention her actions would create, expressing complete surprise at the viral response. Significantly, Cunningham redirected discussion toward basketball, expressing genuine dissatisfaction with her current performance standards. She openly addressed frustration with her play and emphasized determination determination to improve shooting while recovering from previous injuries. The player stressed that primary focus remains basketball excellence, considering everything else secondary.
So much for coming, legends. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Jess to help us celebrate with our 3 new markets. Jess?
The cat's out of the bag. I mean, now we can all exhale. I know you've been staring at this beautiful step and repeat for a little while, but now we can officially talk about it. Kathy, thank you so much. It's more than an expansion, it's an evolution. And first up in that evolution, we have Cleveland. As one of the WNBA's original 8 franchises,
Cunningham also highlighted positive messages her actions conveyed to young athletes about supporting teammates and defending friends, but quickly returned to discussing her need to elevate scoring production and overall team contribution. The viral moment's impact on Cunningham's social media presence has been remarkable. Her Instagram following increased from approximately 300,000 to over 1 million supporters, while TikTok audience expanded from around 400,000 to 1.5 million followers. Combined, she gained nearly 2 million new followers across platforms, transforming her into one of the league's most recognizable competitors and earning significant all-star voting recognition.
And I know they're not necessarily the same position. Joyce Edwards obviously is playing over. You're looking at Grace Van Sluten, Hidalgo, Michaela Blakes, all these players playing over, Gianna Neepkins, all playing over, whereas Flaw J is really, really struggling, and you're like, she's averaging 2.7 a game. You're like, okay, maybe focusing on keeping the main thing. Like, her and Audie Crooks, the 2 worst players on this team so far, outside of games, you know, posting duets on social media, and you're like, there's no issue with that. There's no issue with doing that.
This dramatic fame increase parallels broader discussions about athlete priorities and performance expectations. The sports environment often witnesses similar situations where players struggle balancing newfound attention with athletic responsibilities. Current examples include competitors on national teams who face criticism for performance while maintaining active social media engagement. Specifically, some prominent young players have experienced significant struggles during international competition, with certain athletes now assigned to reserve roles despite high draft positions and expectations. These players, averaging minimal scoring production, face criticism when off-court social media activities receive more attention than disappointing on-court contributions.